Sorry, there is no Jeff Jones with us right now, so I'm gonna have to do this article aftermath all to myself. I'm actually in Indiana on a tennis trip, so surprised I actually found internet service somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Even though there's a hotel in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, we're doing some under the radar dark flying appendages with article aftermath number 19. Looking at this deck, the more I realized it, if anyone actually played Blackwings like 3 years ago, 4, 5, however long ago that was, this deck hasn't really changed. I mean, Koichi and Zephyros are new. I put a Dark Eruption in. Duality wasn't around. I guess same with Warning, but like Icarus attacks and Anti-Reverse and Bottomless and Prison and Torrential and all the Blackwings and Dark Armed, and so unfortunately this deck hasn't really changed. The extra deck has changed, which is the nifty part. I really like Heartland Draco in here because for kind of what I explained in the article, but Cowboy's good when your opponent only has 800 life points left because you can kind of steal victories. You know, maybe you can't run over monsters anymore, or if it's during main phase 2. But Heartland Draco basically, where are you? Little number 82, Heartland Draco, 2000 attack. If you have a Black Whirlwind, which chances are you probably will, because those don't really get. I mean, they're either destroyed early on or no one bothers destroying them, because after like 2 or 3 searches, it's kind of a moot point. But I mean, it's really neat to, as Kelly would say, it's really neat to just kind of steal games because your opponent doesn't know what to do. So, and by doesn't know what to do means can't stop a direct attack. So, sure, it's impervious to things like Mere Force and Deprison. In addition to what Cowboys is hurt by, which is Valor and Fiendish Chain. But I do like it how it can steal games, especially if your opponent has a Beals or something on the field, you can definitely get over it. I really like Beals too in this deck because it's actually not that hard to make. I know sometimes, I mean, you may have to like quote unquote waste a Gale to do it, and I'm sorry if you feel like you're wasting a Gale to make a really good monster, or if you have drawn to a Koichi. But it's cool to. I mean, just easy to make Beals because it's level 8, so Koichi and any other level 4, and then Gale and Sirocco. One reason that I like Dark Eruption, and I may bump it up to 2, may take Duality out of here, or Dark Hole, or something, but maybe some of the traps. Like, I think Fiendish Chain is going down in popularity, and I, echo that sentiment. But really cool with Dark Eruption, and let's say if you need to get a Koichi, but you don't want to search a Koichi, what you can do is summon, if you have Black Whirlwind, you summon Shura to get Boar to your hand, and then attack over, whatever monster you can attack over, summon Koichi, make a rank 4, and then if you Dark Eruption the Koichi back to your hand, next turn you can normal summon the Koichi, and then special summon the Boar from your hand to make Beals that way. So you don't have to always, you can actually, a roundabout way, search Koichi via Dark Eruption. I mean, you can just as easily do that for Gale, but that would, to make a Beals, you'd have to be like Sirocco, and then you don't, you don't have a monster for next turn, and all you have is a Gale. But a lot of games I actually won was just because of more, not really, well, yeah, actually, Gale just kind of runs over everything, and then my opponent eventually, by the time they eventually kill it, you've typically wasted enough resources of theirs, because he just kind of eats up monsters, and I mean, that part's really good. There's no duplicates in the extra deck because I don't think I've ever gone into multiple things. Yeah, anyway. Let's go down to the comments, which this article didn't really get too many. I'm not surprised because it's not that different from any other Blackwing article. But the 2 cards that came into contention, one was Elf and the Raven, and the other was, I cannot remember that other name of the Blackwing guy right now. Let's look him up. Graham. Graham's pretty terrible, and I don't understand. Okay, so sure, it's something to go into with value, and it's a deck heavy target. The only positive it has, okay, after main phase 2, or in main phase 2, if you bring out a value, you can go into Armades, Cataster, or Graham. if you're playing Bujins, going into Armades is not bad. Like if you manage to, if they didn't have a Crane and you kind of want to staunch future Crane plays, you can just go into Armades and they won't be able to attack over with Yamato boosted by stupid Crane. If you go into Cataster, against a lot of decks, they'll have to, I mean, obviously play around a threat, which is Cataster, because, you know, anything not dark will run into it. If you go into Graham, you have a useless 2200 attack position monster on the field, and the only benefit Graham has is that with then Vayu in the graveyard, you can special summon Armed Wing. So it gives you an Armed Wing a little bit faster, but, I mean, maybe I just happened to always have a Sirocco before then or something, but it never really... I never wanted to go into Graham ever. Like, yeah, okay, it helps with the value play a little bit faster, but I wouldn't waste extra deck space when it's already tight. Because I definitely did want to include both Armades and Cataster. Let's go back up. If I was to cut something for Graham, I guess Heartland Draco, to be honest. Or Scrap Dragon. But, no. I mean, Graham can also be made by... Well, so can Cataster and Armades. Can be made by normal summoning Blizzard and bringing back another stupid card like Colute or something. But that's really all I have to say about this Under the Radar. Blackwings are basically the same deck, for better or worse. I mean, the extra deck has changed, but the main deck's pretty standard plays. But next time, hopefully I'll have Jeff Jones here to give some more article aftermaths.